I'm Geoffrey Kent. I play Mark Antony in Antony and Cleopatra and Julius Caesar, as well as Rufio in Caesar and Cleopatra, and I'm also the fight director for the American Shakespeare Center's Summer Festival. Fight direction, you have basically two responsibilities. One is to tell a good story, and two is to protect both the safety of the actors and the audience. And the trick to creating good action for the stage is trying to find a way to merge those two things together. When building a piece of action for a play like Antony and Cleopatra, we had the challenge of we were adding action in a place where Shakespeare himself had not created a fight. He'd created an alarum, which is kind of a movement piece. So we wanted to expound that into something more complex. So we looked at Antony's line, "I will be trouble-hearted, sinewed, breathed, and fight maliciously." So the idea being that he's deeply outnumbered and also is suddenly impassioned to not only win the fight, but to abuse those people who have stood against him. So we decided to create a piece of action where Antony was at the center of the story and surrounded by 4 other soldiers, and then to fight and in some way injure or incapacitate all 4 of them very quickly and efficiently. The first thing you do is throw yourself in the center stage and put 4 people on all different sides and see who wants to go first. And then from there, you just try and create reactions as one move goes to another move. But one of the tricky things about one versus many is the job of the many is actually the hard job. The many could win at any time. So the way we make that not happen is the many have to each time their reactions and play pain up higher and play pushes bigger so that they can always re-arrive at the fight at the exact moment that the fighter in the middle is ready for it. Another challenge to staging at Blackfriars, which is a wonderful challenge, is the way light works. I don't have a light designer to hide an entrance or heighten or, more importantly, drive the audience's eye line. So you really want to make sure when you're building action, whether we are stabbing Caesar or everybody's trying to fight Antony, that you do a good job of knowing where you want the audience's eye to go. And so in addition to staging the action, because action itself can be dangerous, as I always say, the safest stage combat fight is to not have one. So while we've agreed on the choreography and we have multiple safeties that keep us from being injured, our job is to hide those safeties, but that's quite a bit of sleight of hand. So before every performance, we as the actors join on stage with our fight captain, Constance, who watches the action with an outside eye to make sure that all those safeties are still maintained. In Julius Caesar, we have a massive fight that is on a big tarp. So that means we have to work really low centers, really wide legs to make sure we don't slip and turn, and we'll do that several times before a show. In the case of Antony fighting 4 people at once, it's about really rehearsing that timing and making sure we're all moving at the same pace. So we do a little tune-up before every show to make sure the audience gets the best fight we can show them. We would love to have you at the American Shakespeare Center to see our Roman trilogy and more. Antony and Cleopatra, Julius Caesar, and Caesar and Cleopatra are joined by the WILLARD SUITCASES, a world premiere musical in Repertory at the American Shakespeare Center, running now through the end of November.